is still waiting for President Ruto to lift the red alerts. If he hears anything from the president's office, then indeed he will be telling us. By the way, hii story ni kama kuna kitu atolewe hapa. DJ Bona. Si kama Miguna alikuwa kurudi angesharudi time ya inauguration. Ama swearing in ceremony ya Ruto. What's going on here? Because alisema president alimwambia by way no, hii story yote ilikuwa kuimalizwa.
Maybe Miguna kuna vitu zake anamalizia ndio kuja Kenya. You know, you have to plan yourself.
Let me tell you what he actually said. Here's the thing. And then Jana, he listened to Raila Amolo Odinga when he was hitting out to the judiciary and saying, yo, you guys, I don't like the judgment that you made. So this is what he said. He said, stop it right there. You undertook to accept the results of the presidential election and vowed you'd congratulate the winner. So, story ya kuongea judiciary haikufanya kazi fiti in terms of that judgment, wachana nayo as well. So Miguna is quite vocal even before coming back to the country. By the way, what's your take on that, DJ Bonan?
My take on that?
Aongee ama siongee juu ya vitu za Kenya na bado hajakuja Kenya?
Yeye ni Mkenya. So anafaa kuongea tu vitu za Kenya. So long as you are a Kenyan, you need to talk Kenyan things.
Yeah.
So he should.
Let me read for you one comment here by Majority Leader. It's a very nice pseudonym on Twitter at David Luby. He's saying, Miguna thinks Ruto is his friend. I'm sorry, it's Ruto who deported him. What? All right, let me read one from It's Roddy. Anasema, why Miguna is unpredictable. See, the thing is, Ruto may be advised not to lift the red alerts because he's a walking problem. What? Yeah. This is also another one by DJ Juma, your fellow DJ. Well, Miguna said the red alerts were to be lifted on Wednesday. We are on Friday. Well, I beg, no news when the general will be landing. That's how it is, by the way. This is exactly one that majority of Kenyans are looking forward to. Miguna said, well, the president did tell him that he's planning to lift the red alerts. So let's wait and see exactly whether this is actually going to happen in the course of the week or by then only Friday. So kama si leo, tena tuanze kufikiria next week. Anyway, there's one here that I want us to also talk about just before we sign out. Ronaldo is trending. DJ Bona. Yes. Ronaldo ameisha ama ni manyu imtumii fiti?
Ronaldo unajua pia miaka sahi nakataa.
Aje sasa ngoja.
Lakini mimi Ronaldo hajaisha bado.
Hajaisha jumi naangalia form yake ya last season. Umsa alikuwa fiti, si ndio?
Yeah,
all of a sudden he's not scoring anymore. By the Jana he scored one goal. That was a penalty. They had the Europa League game. Yeah. So what should they do? Wamchezeshe ama wamweke kwa Europa?
Ronaldo anafaa kuchezeshwa lakini sio 90 minutes.
Why not 90 minutes? Aliwabeba last season.
Unajua he's aging.
Yeah.
Na miaka venye inaenda, so pia unajua pace alikuwa nayo inaenda ikireduce. Yeah. The more he grows older, the pace yake inashuka chini na techniques zake. Kuna vitu alikuwa akifanya akiwa 20, saizi fanya saa hii. So kucheza unamweka kitu kama 30 minutes enough for him. And he'll just be happy. I don't think they had to complain hapo.
That's it. So it's a tweet from him. He's saying happy to score and help the team win 3 important points. Well done, lads. By the way, this was the Europa League game yesterday. And by the way, if you then count the number of goals that Cristiano Ronaldo has scored, 699 club goals and counting. So wakimweka tena game next, atakuwa 700. Sema, he's the GOAT. Between Messi, Cristiano, DJ Bona, nani anapeleka yako?
Mimi nakuanga fan wa Cristiano lakini Messi pia Messi ako sawa.
Messi ni GOAT mwingine, si ndio? Anyway, so that's exactly what majority of Kenyans are talking about online as far as today is concerned. You want to also talk to us. You don't know what to do at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. We take a short break. Once we come back, we cross into the newsroom and see some of the headlines that you are starting your Friday with right here at Look Up TV.
chance to wake up as a tourist as you view Mount Kenya every day by buying a plot of land at Wema Gardens, Naru Moru. At only 400 meters off tarmac, this is the right place to build your dream home, cottages or holiday homes. You can also buy this property to give to your children as a special inheritance. Water and electricity are in the vicinity, while neighbors are already building their homes. These plots are specially ready for you with title deeds scheduled to be out in 6 months. Buy a 50 by 100 plot of land at Wema Gardens for only 399,000 Kenya shillings. You can also pay for your plot through our friendly one-year installments plan.
Africa. Our economy has a bit. It never stops, always beating. Our business, the next global economic frontier. Let's talk African business.
Michezo na wachezaji, matukio na matokeo uwanjani. Tumejifunga kibwebwe kukuletea mbwembwe. Si mazungumzo ya kusisimua. Ndiyo maana safu ya spoti ipo hapa kwa ajili yako. ZFC! Nami hapa nahodha Robert Chacha, si suisui, na kuandalia kipindi bomba cha safu ya spoti kila siku ya Jumamosi kuanzia saa 7:30 hadi 9:30 ndani ya runinga nambari 1 ya michezo Lookup TV.
Wewe unavifahamu mutura ni nini hasa?
Mutura ni kata nyama tu za kawaida, lakini nitoka mutura juu ya kutengeneza wenye natengeneza ngo. Yeah.
Mutura ni intestine ikiwa imeshikanishwa na meat. Yeah, alafu kichomwe.
Mimi nilikuwa nimehubiri miaka kadhaa kabla nikutane na mhubiri ambaye anaambia pepo toka na inaongea inasema tumeenda. Nimeingia mahali, nimetembelea watu ambao wamejaribu kuuza vitu zikakataa kuenda. Nikaingia pale nikasema maneno, nikamwaga mafuta mahali pale, zile bidhaa zikaanza kuuzika, maana zilikuwa zimefugwa na powers. Who asks all of our prayers?
Now, the Energy Regulatory and Petroleum Authority released new fuel prices countrywide just days after President William Ruto indicated that the subsidy on fuel initiated by Uhuru Kenyatta must be reviewed. Now, the rise in fuel prices has elicited mixed reactions among Kenyans and stakeholders in the transport industry. Ian Ketani files the following report.
Just 2 days after William Ruto was sworn in as Kenya's 5th president, the Energy, Petroleum and Regulatory Authority has announced new fuel prices for petrol and diesel countrywide. In Nairobi, a litre of petrol now goes for 179, up from 159, indicating a rise of Kenya shillings 20, while a litre of diesel goes for 165, up from 146, indicating a rise of Kenya shillings 19. However, the Regulatory Authority abolished tax from petrol, which means it will now retail at 179 per litre, as opposed to 215 with tax included. The prices vary from county to county. In Mombasa, petrol retails at 176, while diesel retails at 162 per litre. In Eldoret, it goes for 179 and 165. In Nakuru, it retails at 178 and 164, while in Kisumu, it retails at 179 and 165 for petrol and diesel respectively. This comes even as the residents of Nandi County remain hopeful that the fuel menace will be solved by President William Ruto, adding that despite the announcement by the regulatory authority, Ruto had indicated that he has plans in place to ensure the menace is done with and uplift common mwananchi from the shackles of poverty. In Kajiado County, motorists are urging President William Ruto to ensure that the fuel prices are reduced, insisting that they will also be forced to increase bus fares due to the rise in fuel prices.
Nataka tu Ruto apunguze mafuta. Angalau hata hali ni ngumu. Sisi tunaumia zaidi. Kazi hakuna, mafuta yamepandisha juu. Sasa tunadhani sasa
hii kama mimi ni dereva naona kazi kama ya matatu nitaacha sababu mafuta sasa hivi imefika 165 na ilikuwa tunauziwa 140. So ikiwa 140 bado tulikuwa tunateseka. Sasa hivi imeongezewa. Asra Nation imeingia sasa imesema sasa imechukua ushukani sasa. Wamechukua sasa watu angalie sio watu wa mahasra wa chini wa nini wa matatu wa maroli juu tunateseka warai.
After last minute negotiations on modalities, the prices of fuel have gone up countrywide, a move that has not only caused uproar in the transport sector but also among many Kenyans who now want President William Ruto to prioritize the reduction of fuel prices. Ian Keitani, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
Ian Keitani. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has warned state officers against intimidating elected leaders, saying they should be respected. Speaking during the Council of Governors Induction Summit in Mombasa, Rigathi said the era of harassing elected leaders by state officers is over, signaling out police officers and the Department for Criminal Investigations officers.
From 1963.
In his first official outing as the Deputy President of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua has warned state officers against harassing elected leaders. Signaling out police officers and DCI officers, Rigathi has said elected leaders should be accorded respect since they serve the electorate.
To tell our security officers that they cannot send a junior police officer to go and harass and interrogate an elected governor. If there is an issue that needs to be addressed, as it should be, we are not saying we don't fight graft, but let us be decent people. Let us have respect for elected leaders. Let the head of that particular organization write a letter to the governor himself and not delegate to some junior officers to address a sitting governor, because that is not right.
Rigathi has further assured governors of President William Ruto's government commitment to enhance devolution and coordination with county governments and pledging early disbursement of funds to the counties.
Issue of transferring the remaining functions, followed by resources, will be addressed shortly. We must give true meaning to devolution, because that is what the Constitution says, and indeed, when we have gone round, the people of Kenya are truly happy about devolution.
Edwin John Mokora, Look Up TV.
Mombasa Governor Abdul Somad Nasser has pledged to steer economic recovery in the coastal county through the implementation of business-friendly policies and job creation. In Kakamega County, Ferdinand Baraza, or Fernandez, has also been sworn in as Kakamega third governor. Baraza took oath alongside his deputy governor, Ayub Savula. Shadrach Karebia with that story.
After a long waiting, residents of Mombasa and Kakamega counties have witnessed the swearing-in of their governors. In Mombasa, Abdul Somad Nasir took his oath at Mamangina waterfront as Kakamega's Fernandez Barasa received tools of power at Bakungu Stadium. Nasir planned to improve the livelihood of Mombasa residents through the implementation of business-friendly policies.
Almost 100,000 jobs directly and indirectly created in Mombasa, even as I at county government level seek to operationalize the Miritini Industrial Park. The Miritini Industrial Park, as outlined in our manifesto, shall provide tax incentives to local small, medium scale manufacturing businesses to encourage their setup in Mombasa.
In an event flocked with the Azimio politicians, including Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua, the leaders welcomed the move by President William Ruto to revert port operation to Mombasa, but called for a measure to be put in place to ensure that the people of Mombasa get their share of the port revenue.
Hapa nina furaha kwa sababu bandari imerudi, tumeelezwa hivyo, lakini tunataka tuione ikifanya nini kazi.
We want to see a free port. Bandari huru Mombasa ndio italeta manufaa makubwa, sio tu kwa Mombasa na Kenya hii peke yake, bali kwa eneo nzima hili la Afrika Mashariki and even beyond to Central Kenya.
Ndio mmeahidiwa bahari imerudi, lakini tungependa pia kuona Mombasa County ikiwa na stake ndani ya bahari. Kama mafuta ikipatikana, wenye mafuta wanakuwa na stake, mafuta yenu ni hii bahari.
In Kakamega County, Barasa assured the residents that he will solve the challenges affecting Kakamega residents.
We'll seek to address the following thematic areas. Number 1, health. Number 2, food security, wealth creation, education specific emphasis on ECD and county polytechnics, social development, and good governance.
Kuapishwa, tumesikia rais mpya akisema atafanya kazi na mirengo yote. Twataka that to be devolved also. All governors elected.
Shadrack Kareria, Look Up TV.
Baringo Deputy Governor Charles Kipng'ok is dead. Kipng'ok has died after collapsing at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport while boarding a plane to Mombasa. His death has come only 3 weeks after Kipng'ok was sworn in on 25th August. Kipng'ok was on his way to attend an induction meeting for the newly elected governors and deputy governors. Other leaders and Baringo residents continue to mourn him, stating that they are yet to come into terms with the loss. Well, may his soul rest in peace. Now, moving on. After a show of might from Kenya Kwanza in the election of speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate, another showdown is expected between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza during the elections of majority and minority leaders of the two assemblies. While Azimio enjoys majority of elected members, President William Ruto's led Kenya Kwanza has proven it has influence and muscle to tilt the votes in its favor. Will the situation be different this time round? Our reporter Henry Tender looks at the power play in the National Assembly and files the following report.
On Friday, the Azimio coalition has convened a meeting in Machakos of its elected members ahead of a fierce contest in the National Assembly during the election of majority and minority leaders. Sources privy to the leadership of the coalition intimate the meeting will strategize on how to counter the wave from Kenya Kwanza as it eyes the majority seat. Azimio boasts of majority of members elected under its coalition, but its leadership is wary of the threat posed by Kenya Kwanza, especially considering the fact that there is disunity among its members. Already, some of Azimio members have expressed public dalliance with Kenya Kwanza and declared their full support towards President William Samoei Ruto. The election of speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate remaining a testament that President William Ruto has a firm grip on both the houses. And as the debate rages on who will control the National Assembly, through the position of majority whip, there is evident concern within Azimio fraternity that they may again be frustrated on the floor of the House. The reason why Friday's meeting is fundamentally crucial to rally its members towards a common stand before the voting day, with a decision on who should front majority leader sitting at the desk of National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula for deliberation and ruling.
Order, honorable members. Order.
Pundits argue Kenya Kwanza might have their way in this election, and Azimio will have no option but to settle on the minority leadership, especially if Wetangula rules that majority leader can be fronted by any coalition without taking into considerations their strength in parliament. This notion, however, is not entertained by Azimio team, who say they will be forced to go to court to secure the majority seat since the law favors them. And if Azimio happens to win the majority seat, it will open an interesting scenario in the politics of the House. Majority Leader plays a critical role in advancing the agenda of the sitting government and in rallying members to pass crucial bills. If that seat goes to Azimio, it will be interesting to see how the ruling party navigates it.
I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge my duties as Speaker of the National Assembly.
From Azimio, Ugunja MP Opiyo Wandayi, John Mbadi and Junet Mohamed are touted as vying for the seat. The coalition will determine who takes what in Friday's meeting. All eyes will be fixed to the National Assembly to see how the elections will unfold. Henry Tende, Look Up TV.
Now, let's kick off our weekly episodes of Born a Man. And our very own Cecilia Lebanga covered a day in the life of a man through Ndoni Kinyanjui's eyes, who accounts for the wins and struggles he has been through as a father, a husband, being employed, starting a business and successfully taking his children to school amidst the day-to-day challenges he faces as a man.
Since time, men have traditionally been taught to suppress their emotions, crying being unacceptable and expressing their feelings seen as a sign of weakness. The story is no different for Ndoni Kinyanjui. The city under the scorching sun, Nairobi. But for a man, this is no excuse because he has to do what he has to do to put food on the table. Born a man, the society bestows tough responsibilities upon you with expectations to provide and to protect. This is the life of a man. At 59 years, Kinyanjui is a father of 5, a husband, and above all, the breadwinner in his home. Years of labor and still going at it just to ensure there's food on the table for the family. The journey has, however, not been a walk in the park.
Mimi mwanzo especially nilikuwa nimeajiriwa na company ambazo hazikuwa na pesa. For example, nilikuwa na Benham Holdings, nilikuwa the former MP Dagoreti, the late Clement Benson Gachanja, with the salary ilikuwa ndogo. Sasa singewezana na hiyo, that's why nikaja onadizika ku decide unaweza tafutia bibi kazi nyingine ya kufanya hii ya green grocer. Maana yake after kutoka kazi ilikuwa nakuja na mshikilia vitu ambazo zimekuwa bei ghali na mashule lazima wapeleke, especially sijawapeleka mahali sio watu wamesoma, sijawapeleka na loan except kujifanyia kazi na mikono.
The business has been quite sustainable, but with the dynamics in the economy over time, he has barely been making enough profits.
Customer kununua hawana pesa, pia nao wana changamoto za kushindiwa na hiyo life. Kuanzia wakati wa COVID mpaka saa hii watu wajerecover kikazi. Sasa hata wewe unaifanya tu ni kama kusukuma masiku tu, uwezi funga lakini unaisukuma tu. Sasa hapo ndio na challenges nyingi kama mwanaume na tayari umeacha job. Tushida tuko, lakini sasa unajua lazima ujikakamue. Maana sasa usipojikakamua utafanyaje? That's why ndio unaona saa nyingine tunakazana. Naacha wife, naenda shughuli kidogo, nikipata mahali nyingine naweza sukuma siku mbili, asukuma alafu narudi hapa. Hata saa hii na 59 years, kuna company ina expect kukuajiri saa hii. Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, lazima ukija kuwa lazima uwe ni provider. Wewe ndio unatoa kila kitu. Wewe ndio unasimamia boma yako, sio kusimamiwa. Jadishi kama mama anakusaidia manini, lakini mostly ni wewe unatakiwa kuwa una focus na vitu ya kwako.
Those are the lessons Ndoni Njuguna mastered from childhood, that there is simply no excuse for a man. Recently, authenticity and vulnerability among men is slowly being embraced in the society, but judgment from fellow men is still an issue. Ndoni prides himself in instilling knowledge and skills in his children that are majorly considered feminine by the society.
Ukiangalia this area, si wanaume wengi utakuta kwa kioski kuendelea. Ati mtu anajihusisha na kazi yake ya kioski na aonage tofauti. Na hivyo mimi feel comfortable na ile kazi nafanya na mimi nalisha watu yangu. Na hata ukiangalia utasema wamelelewa kwa kioski ama kwa slums, maana ni mtu akitoka anatoka na ile ujuzi tu ya kutoka kwa family.
With the cost of living skyrocketing, the pressure to provide has piled a lot of stress for many men.
Stress hazikosagi juu ya kusaingine, unajua pesa hauna. So inabidi utakopa kwa wale watu mnao. Na unaona ni challenges kuwarudishia pesa inakuwa ni mvutano. Hata pia naye ana shida zake. Na kitu nimefanya sana, especially wale distributor wa vitu zangu. Hao ndio tulikuwa tunafutana. Miaka haijalishi. Na hata kuna nchi zingine unastaafu hata ukiwa na 70. Provided wewe ujipime mwili yako ina nguvu kiasi gani ya kufanya kazi. Mwanaume ndio kichwa ya ngoma tangu zamani, according to our African customs. It doesn't matter kama bibi yako anafanya kazi, lakini you are the provider. Yeye ikiwa ni mzuri anajichukulia jukumu, mnalea familia moja, basi yeye ndio atachukulia ati ni lazima. Vitu vingine unakuta amesote, especially kama hapa kwangu. Sasa sionagi mimi tofauti, lakini especially in African customs, unajua mwanaume ni hiyo. Tunaamini lazima ufanye. Kama ufanyi hauna kitu una provide. Hata makesi zinakuja nyumbani za divorce, vita, domestic violence zinakujiaga hiyo vitu tu. Tuendavyo ukiambia watu ati ama unaongea na mtu shida kama hizo za kwako. Ndio unajikamkamua tu na unakaa ngumu na kusema tunitajikaza wote. After all unakuta mtu ikimzidia sana, unakuta hata kwa boma waongei na watu. Ama anaenda unakuta sasa imefika mahali. Unakuta amecommit kitu kama suicide juu ameona sasa ameweka mwisho. Na especially wanaume hatuongeagi kuambia society. Unajua pia naye kuongea inafanya mtu unarudi roho ya kawaida, unarudi kawaida. Mimi ndio advise wanaume, ukipata hata small business inakukeep busy na unaonana na watu wengi, then nafikiri hiyo kitu ianze kukukuta. Kanake kama mimi, kama sio hii kazi ya greengrocer, zamani ilikuwa ngumu sana hata nikuta naongea na watu.
Ndoni is now ready to fully retire after ensuring his children are well catered for. This does not, however, take away the fact that he remains the key provider of his home. For him, a man never stops being a man, not even on his deathbed. He says it's a God-given responsibility he lives to fulfill to the end. The life of a man through Njuguna's eyes. He's just one among many men who pull up daily to their various places of labor just to ensure there's food on the table, as they also deal with their own personal issues they hardly get to talk about since they're termed as men. Cecilia Lubanga, Lookout TV, Nairobi.
First time you realize that you're a man is when even your money is not your money. Everything that you got next to you, when it stops becoming yours, where you cannot claim that this is my money, as when you realize you become a man, so you got no option, you know? You can't do anything, because at the end of the day, you gotta put, people would ask you, what do you have, Bonai? Ukwaje bro, like being a man, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, iyo time yenye unajua, kuna watu wamenisurround and they expect me to contribute. Hapo ndo unajua you are man, si ndio? Anyway, that's the way it is, man. So for all the men, we feel you, we got you. Let's keep pushing. Anyway, DJ Bonan is ready. The man, DJ Bonan is ready. Yeah, let me use that. Yeah, alafu. Then after that, we're gonna get into the music with DJ Bonan. Then later on, we have a beautiful artist coming to the studio, AOD. Niliambiwa nitiseme AOD. AOD. And then after that, tuendelea kuserereka, which is shake shake. Kuserereka, that's the translation. Kubi. Anyway, let's get to the music.